Hello and welcome to Zest Reacts, a new segment on my channel where I give episodic breakdowns of animes or shows. So without further ado, let's get into it. Vinland Saga Season 2 started hella tamed. We get introduced to Einar, who is a totally new character for us anime watchers. From the get-go, we can already establish that Einar is weak as hell, and throughout the episode we get to see the peril that Einar faces, with his family being killed by warriors and him taken in to become a slave. Close to the end of the episode, that's when things get a little bit interesting, when Einar gets sold off to a farmer, and then we see our boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Thorfinn, who has very clearly sneaked out of puberty. Not too much happened in episode 1, felt really uneventful. Now episode 2 felt a lot more tamed. Einar gets to meet and understand Thorfinn. Before we talk about what actually happens in this episode, I just want to say Thorfinn's character change or character switch is one that I really don't understand. Thorfinn now looks and feels like someone who doesn't want to live again. Someone who has basically given up on life. Thorfinn is more tamed, respectful, and even shows Einar how to behave and also how to respect the people around him. I was a bit shocked by the approach Makoto Yukimura went with this character, at least as of now. Maybe manga readers would have a bit more foresight to know what actually happens with Thorfinn. You see Thorfinn from being a warrior, having a goal or having a dream to fulfill, to not having a dream, not wanting to live, and now he's a slave. I just feel that kind of change in a character, it's a bit too drastic. But if you remember, at the end of season 1, Aslad made a statement to Thorfinn, asking him how would he live his life after he has died. But Thorfinn then did not look like he had an idea of how to live after Aslad. While I knew that, I did not expect Thorfinn to become a slave in a farm somewhere. I did not expect that kind of a drastic change from being a warrior to being a freaking slave. But that is the way the story is going. In episode 3, we get to see something more eventful, which was inspired by the almighty fool, that is Oma, who believed the farmer's guests or bodyguard when they said that to become a man, you need to kill somebody first. I mean, how stupid can you be to actually believe this? But it's anime, so yeah. The farm's guest ends up bringing Einar and Thorfinn to Oma, who was supposed to kill one of them to actually become a man, apparently. This ends up transpiring to Thorfinn getting slashed so many times, to which it gets revealed to us that Thorfinn is not just an emo kid, he is also suicidal. He feels he does not have a will to live and does not fear death. But when he was being pushed by Snake, who is the leader of the farm's bodyguard, we get to see a bit of life from Thorfinn, who in that split moment had a glint in his eyes. This kind of proves that Thorfinn actually wants to live, but I feel like he hasn't yet found the reason to push on, at least as of now. Then came episode 4, and I really love this episode because we get to understand Einar more in this episode. Here, Einar confronts Thorfinn about his past, and Thorfinn revealed to him that he's a warrior and the things that he has done. You see, Einar apparently someone who hates wars and hates warriors because his family was killed by warriors. So imagine the kind of vengeful hate Einar is supposed to have for Thorfinn. I feel Einar wanting to kill Thorfinn is kind of justified in a sense, but Einar does not do that. Instead, he wakes Thorfinn up from his POW flashbacks that he was having. This is another part of Thorfinn that has come to light. Thorfinn is being haunted by his past. This is a kid that in season 1 was an absolute beast who can go anywhere and stand up to anybody. I mean, he freaking fought with Thorkel and matched him up really well, but we see Thorfinn getting dreams, or what I call POW flashbacks, about the things that happened in his past. That being said, Einar was having his own struggles of wanting to kill Thorfinn, but he doesn't do that. Instead, he wakes Thorfinn up from these POW flashbacks. To be real, I kind of like these kind of characters who are able to see things the way they are, rather than being overly emotional. We normally see this overly emotional type of character in animes, but Einar seems to be different. I feel like he will become a huge part of the story later on. I'm not too sure because I'm not a manga reader at all, so maybe manga readers can know what would actually happen to Einar, but I feel like Einar will add to the character development of Thorfinn as the anime progresses. In episode 5, we start seeing those big boys. We get to see Canute, we get to see Floki, we get to see Thorkel. We get to understand what has been going on all this time, with Canute trying to take over the throne of England with the help of Floki and Thorkel. I mean, it still shocks me how Canute is able to control Thorkel. I mean, the guy is crazy. we get to understand that after Ashalad's death and the death of King Swine, a new king was put in state by the name of King Ethelred. And Ethelred was trying to get rid of Canute because Canute was the one going after the throne. So the two of them, Canute and King Ethelred, had been fighting for the throne of England, to which by the end of the episode, Canute wins the battle by poisoning King Ethelred and also killing King Ethelred's son, Edmund. Now, from season 1 till now, I feel like Canute has been the total definition of character development. From season 1, we saw how Canute grew under the influence of Ashalad. From his privileged lifestyle, we've seen him grow to become a complete leader. What he was capable of doing at such a young age by getting Turkel's army to fight for him and even getting Floki under his wings is absolutely astonishing. And now in season 2, all that growth and all that development has come together to make him the King of England. Ashalad's influence on Canute cannot be removed because I feel like Ashalad was the reason why Canute has reached the level that he has reached. By Ashalad's influence, Canute was able to push out from this privileged, shy nature of not wanting to be a warrior to actually taking reins of who he is and what he has to become. If you kind of look a bit deeper, you can see Ashalad's influence both in Thorfinn and Canute. With Canute, we see a positive influence in the development of his story, while with Thorfinn, we see a more negative influence in the development of his story. I'm so psyched to see how Thorfinn will grow through this period and also how Canute will add to himself as the King of England. I'm 100% stoked for episode 6 to come out, and so please subscribe and like if you want more of this content. Thanks for watching. God loves you. I love you too, and bye bye.